Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be going through the AFLW strategy or structure for a lot of teams. I think just going through and looking at how you structure up in terms of primos, mid-prices and rookies. Given it is a 10-week season, I think there is more inclination to get that mass cash gen in very quickly, given that there is almost a 2.5 multiplier on cash gen in comparison to the men's league. I think it may even be 3 or 3.5 times. That's how much difference there is in it. Because I know that Anthony at 300k last year, she would have been priced around about that 22, 23 marker. She went 99 and she went up 200k, which is roughly about 3.5 times, I think, the multiplier for what a men's would be. So there's a lot more emphasis on cash gen early and how you're going to get that. And I think that lends to, but you also want the points. So yeah. Let's just jump into this screen here. I hope it's on the right one. There you go. You can see the key here for primos, mid-prices, and rookies. And let me just bring up my other screen over here just so I can give you sort of an idea of what my side is a little bit. I have inputted Bonnie Too Good into here, into this slot over here, just because I think she is so commonly owned. I mean, I could put Marinoff in the other slot because I think Marinoff is the highest owned player. But yeah, Marinoff is 68.49 and Too Good is 64.92. So I think that is, they are high enough owned, Marinoff, that I think you can put them in their own slots there. And I know that there are some people, I know that Mick from the Ball Boys is going against it, but I do understand his strategy to the nth, to a degree. He's basically saying that Marinoff won't hurt him in the first 3 rounds with captaincy reasons, that he'll be able to get her in round 7 for the double, because he does not want to play against a 6-5-4 double. Which is what Marinoff did against those 2 opponents last year that she has. I believe it was GWS for a 174 and a Melbourne 153. So he doesn't want to play against that. So he'll get her in by then. But so that he doesn't, because if you don't have Marinoff for her double and she goes 6-5-4, you can wipe away that the car there, and even probably a hat by then, because she could gain 250 points on anyone else. If 200, probably 200 points on other people. Say they average 125 in that double, she'll gain 150 points on them. So if she goes 6-5-4, so I think a lot of people will start this structure and then build around it with the rookies. So looking at my side currently, if we just build up from the rookies, because it's inputted on that currently, I'll just do this. This is also there. And the basic ranges, if I actually go, and I'll have to quickly just, where is it here? How am I going to get this? So 1 second, let me do this. Then I go this here. And then if I just go to my Twitter quickly here and just show you the ranges for what I've set output here. That shouldn't have 7, but I think this is right here. This is what I'll be doing my ranges off of, what I put out for Brisbane Bloods Ask the Question. So defenders 800 to 800k plus, 420 to sort of 420, I think, to around that 800k is around about the rookie mid-price for most of these people. And the 300 to 419 is the rookie price, given that Weston is 420, but I mean, she isn't in most people's squads anyway. And then the only real difference is the for the mids and the rucks to a certain extent, and so they all sort of filter out a little bit, but that is sort of the price frames that I'm going for each and everyone. So there you go. So now if we go back to 1 second, let me just bring this up so I can have it on my side monitor here. So there we go. That should be good now. There you go. So you have that now. And then if I just go back across, I have my team here now. So my team still structures up much to the same of something or other on this. Let me do the actual, let me do the rookies over here. 1 second. That's that. That's okay. So if I actually just do this, I can just do, this will be quicker. And then that's that one. And then the utility, where's the utility? There it is. Okay, and then we have mid prices. I think I only have like, technically technically 3 mid prices, but Schleicher is so close to a normal price, a primo price, that she's almost a primo, and she is one of the almost primos that I have in there. And then that's roughly the same color. Whoopsie, let me just do this quickly. M2, M3, M4, and then that. And obviously those two will go like that. And how do I get the actual... Oh, you know what I need to do? We'll do this, and then we'll just color it here for the sake of keeping those names there. So that is the current structure that I've got. Not putting the exact names, obviously Marinoff and Too Good are there. So that I think is one of the structures that we have seen for a lot of people. I think a lot of people will go someone in this M4 slot, whether it is a massive mid-pricer or whether it is like a really low mid-pricer, like in the average in the 40s, 50s, 60s range to break out, or whether that be like a McCarthy, that be like the really low mid-prices, like a Ham, Miller, an East, is it down at East? That Freo midfield. And then you got in the higher Freo bracket, you got Coughlin and also you have, let me actually just bring this Freo midfield up. Fremantle, you'd have McCarthy and also Kaufman in that sort of higher midfield bracket. And then the lower one, you'd have Lally, East, and also Miller. Well, Miller's sort of in that higher bracket anyway. So you sort of have that Freo midfield sort of goes across that mid-pricer bracket in itself, ranging from that sort of 600k, 650k-ish to that 890-ish, okay? And then you've got some other mid-prices like from Sydney with Ham. You've got also from Richmond, you've got Mackenzie, who did pretty well as well. And I'm pretty sure, let me just do this and then do prices. So the 700k, there's no one really used. Mackenzie and Ham in that 600k range. 500k, no one really. And then the 800k, you've got McCarthy at sort of 8%. And then you get into the Primos 900k price each. But I mean, that is sort of almost a mid-pricer as well. Like a Hurley, could she break out for Sydney as well? And then you've got Kelly Conway. But I mean, those are sort of almost full primos in a way at that 900k range, even though I said 900k would still be a mid-pricer. So that is the current squad, how I'm priced in sort of the structure. From what I've seen from other people, we can just change this color here and we'll change this to a red. I think this works, and removing a lot of the mid-pricer, but this would sort of have to be, and the reason why I think this works a little bit is instead of getting, it would have to be like a 1.2 or like a Conti, a Rowbottom Conti, and then like an Ali Anderson, a Blackburn. Is she in the actual price range that I'm thinking of? Let me actually just check. Blackburn, I think she's in the 1.1s. Where is she? Blackburn, 1.25. Yeah, so you have like Anderson, Blackburn on the early one. You've also got Ella Roberts as well. I've seen some people go for her, even though I don't like her role. Even Goldsworthy is still 5% owned. So you have that sort of lower 1 million bracket, I would say almost. And that's where that M4 is coming from. But you've got so much, in that M4 bracket, you've got so much indecision in sort of how people play it out. And I think it's based on what do they want to do with this F3 that sort of coincides with this. I've also seen people go, and it's sort of and sort of, if you break it down, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 primos. If we just go 9, then you've got how many in total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh wait, I've double counted here surely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 and then 1. Yeah, that makes sense because that adds up to 21. So you've got that scenario there. I've also seen people go, what was it? I would say probably this, a more mid-pricer sort of madness almost in a way. I've seen this as well, which is sort of that, and then what's that? Is that 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. And that would coincide with 10 rookies. So I've seen that structure as well. So I think most people, if I'm being honest with you, will go for a, and you can slightly see it. Yeah, you can see it here when I'm doing there. There's 21 players in there. And I think most people will go for this strategy of, I think you have to go 8 or 9 primos. It's just a whether of, do you go for, like we said in the men's, I think there was definitely a guns and rookies type approach. I don't know whether people will go for that in the women's, especially with the double game week, which will be the other video today, discussing how you sort of strategize with the double game week, especially early players. But I think some people will go for sort of an 8 primo strategy and go for mid prices and just hope they sort of smash it, especially early on. As I mean, if you look at my structure, in a sense, I'm in that bracket there of going that, and then that there. So I have the 8, 3, and 10 rookies as well. So I'm one lighter on the rookies, but I feel like I'm still getting the price growth, especially in the key areas of this midfield line you want to have, especially with this utility. I think a lot of people will have this effectively in M7. So you'll have 1, 2, 3, and potentially even growth out of this M4 that you want to rise 30, 40 points. So you're trying to get the most growth out of this section here and get potentially somewhere close to 150 to 200 points worth of growth out of this section is probably the key area. So I think a lot of people are paying up for a structure like this because 1, it's very, very even in the sense of spreading it out. But 2, you're getting Marinoff. Most people will have Marinoff. Plus you're getting probably an early. And a lot of people also with this M4 slot, if they aren't going for that primo, they are going for someone that probably has an early-ish buy. So yeah, I think, and if we just look here, you'll see here, a lot of the teams here have this. Like a lot of the teams have a 5 or 6. You're trying to get that in. You could potentially go for there. I don't think there are any Western Bulldogs players that will stand out. I don't think there's any Brisbane. Could be a Collingwood player, but I don't think so. So there's no real the earliest M4 that you can go for. I think there are potential M4s in, like we said with Mackenzie from Richmond here. So you could go that route with that team structure. But I think a lot of people are going for someone that has that early-ish double in trying to stay away from an around 7 double in this slot here. Just because if they are going well, then you can just hold them or hold them for their double and then trade them off. Like you could potentially get a... there is some way and manner, and I'm just trying to think about it mathematically speaking, because I'm trying to think of what do you have to hold, or what do you have to get to from a 0 balance to get, say, an N4 to a primo in round 7, plus also be able to go M5 or M6 and M5 up to get a primo as well in that last spot there. So that you could potentially have 3 primos on the double in round 7 and really make up a lot of ground, because a lot of this whole focus will be trying to get positions that have 12 games. Trying to get not necessarily this M1, 2, 3 business up to 12 games, but trying to get D4, D5, trying to get M4, M5, trying to get F4, F5 potentially up to 12 games worth, because that'll be the huge difference in getting potentially 60 points here, 60 points here, and then potentially 90 to 100 points here and here. Like you can gain just by smart trading and trading around the double is getting points there, and that's mostly what the next video will be about. But anyway, I think that's a good time to stop. I didn't go into many different structures because I don't think it's too smart of a decision to go mid-pricer absolute madness, because you're just going to be forced to be there's too many different holes potentially in your side, and you're hoping that a lot of people will fire. And you can get stuck into bleeding a lot of points, I think, in double game weeks if you do that, because you're trying to fix up way too many holes. And with 10 weeks, it gets really tough to do that. So I think going guns and rookies, especially in AFLW, is probably the better bet. So I think having less primos. And like, to a certain extent, this D3 for me is Ruby Scheisser. She is under my ranges. She's 7k short of being a primo here. If she's a primo here, then I have 9 here. And I could almost get to just having 10 primos, 11 rookies, etc. I think that if you count her as a primo, if you were to just change the ranges a little bit, but I sort of went with the 800k because I believe that's around about the top 10 or 15 for women's fantasy. If I just go here quickly, check that for you guys. Let's just check this and then go by average. Then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 people, 13 girls above 800k. I think that's enough for a primo range, given that I think the midfield range 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's a lot in the midfield range actually now looking at it. So maybe the midfield range primo, or maybe the defender range primo should have been 750k. That would have accounted for another couple of girls there, I think. Would have counted another, I think, 3 or 4 girls in there, which would have got it up to 17, 18, which comparatively would have been probably around it. But anyway, that is the video there, going through the sort of structure and how I'm viewing it and sort of the reasons behind those structures, and how I've sort of messed with my team a little bit to, or maneuvered my team a little bit to get what I think is almost a better structure for both being able to get really good growth in certain areas, as midfielders generally have the bigger price range gap or the average gap. So there's more price to, or more value in those ranges, but also trying to get the best points on field. So if you did enjoy that sort of muddle of a video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on, especially with Thursday and Friday having the last content before the AFLW season starts. But if you did enjoy it, remember to do that, and I will see you guys in the next video, which will be the double game week sort of run through, as that is a key component of the AFLW fantasy season this year. Bye guys.